Hello, welcome to another video. So in my last video, I went into the influences behind my personal style and aesthetic. And in the poll that I put up, I did also put the option to explore my current favorites for January. If you did vote for that and let me know that you wanted to see that as well. So in this video, I'm going to be jumping straight into those. So at the moment we are unfortunately at the peak of summer here, and as you can imagine, summer in Australia is quite grueling and it can get very hot. During this time of year I do find myself staying home quite a lot just to escape the heat, but when I do go out I have a few go-to clothing items that I like to wear. But something I have tried to do over the past few years, which I didn't mention in my last video, is that I have tried to build a capsule wardrobe with a lot of items that I can mix and match, and I found that's really helped me. But it's also been great for me to cut back on shopping, because I think having a base of items makes me really question when I go out if I need anything else. So it's been really good for that. One thing I do love to wear in summer is graphic t-shirts. I have quite a big collection. My favorite graphic t-shirt that I have bought recently is this one. This has Kyrie from Uzumaki on the front, and this one is from Yohji Yamamoto from one of his side brands called Sight. He did a collaboration with Junji Ito last year. All the items are really cool and I love all of the illustration. And being a big fan of Yohji Yamamoto and Junji Ito, I of course had to pick up a few things. So I've got something else I'll show you in a minute. I really love the design of this shirt. I love the colors of this, and I think that all the details of the illustration are just really nice. The quality is also really good, so I was not disappointed when I received this. Other item that I got from this collection was a bag. So one side has Kyrie with her lovely spiral hair, and then the other side has Azami, and she's wearing a beautiful, what I assume to be Yohji Yamamoto dress. It just has one button to close it up, but there are two pockets inside, which are handy. I find I use this bag when I need to carry a lot of things. I really like everything in this collection. One of the things I do like about living in Melbourne is that the weather is very inconsistent. There are some days or some evenings where I can still wear a jacket, which I love. One jacket that I have shown quite a bit that has been on rotation for me is this one that I got from Nike. I don't usually buy a lot of things from Nike, but they've been coming up with some really interesting things. I had my eye on this jacket for a while and I ended up getting it in the Black Friday sale last year. I really like the pleats on this jacket and also the high neck. I really love things with a high neck, and even though it is from Nike, the details with the ticks are very subtle, which is really great as well. I love that it's very oversized and I just find it fits well in my wardrobe. My go-to is always a comfy pair of trousers, and I really love wide leg ones. So this pair here that I have from Muji is pleated as well. I'm really loving pleats at the moment, as you can tell. These are the Hakama pants. Really been loving these. I love how they also look like a skirt from different angles. They're just really unique. Material of these is very lightweight, and I find I can still wear them on really hot days. When it comes to putting my outfits together, one of the most important aspects for me is jewelry and accessories. I always have my rings and necklaces because I feel very bare without them. I did get a new ring before Christmas, which is the Tilly ring from Vivienne Westwood. And if you know me, you'll know that I am a really big fan of Vivienne Westwood. Got this little ring because I was just looking for something basic, and I really like the design of this with just the orb. I do really love this ring and I'm really happy that I was able to get it. One thing that I am really excited to discuss more here, which I have kind of touched on with a few of you, is makeup. In the past year and a half, I'd say, I've gotten really into makeup. Before that, I was just kind of not putting a lot of effort into it, which is fine. But I think on my second trip to Japan at the end of 2024, I ended up exploring a lot of Asian cosmetics while I was there. And I ended up buying quite a few items that I'm still using now. So since then, I've really gotten into wearing makeup again. So at the moment, I'm really enjoying the Little Ondine Junji Ito collection. Yes, I have bought a lot of Junji Ito collaboration items. So it came with a eyeliner and a mascara. This mascara and this eyeliner I've been wearing for a few months now since I got it, and the longevity has been great. So I would definitely buy these items again from this brand. One of my favorite items from this collection is the blush, purely because of the packaging. It's got this beautiful picture of Tomie on the front. I am wearing the blush today. However, I don't usually wear a lot of blush because my cheeks always have a little bit of redness. I really like this one because it's just like a very soft pink. And I don't know if you can see this, but depending on the angle, there are two images of Tomie here. I don't even know how they did this. It's honestly magic. And it makes me not want to use it because I don't want her face to disappear. Although when I do use it up, I will be keeping this just to have as a mirror in my bag. And the last item is this lip clay. Again, I love the packaging that this has come in. It's just like a very nice corally kind of pink. So it's just been a really good everyday product to just throw in my bag. I'm actually not wearing that product today though. I like to layer them. So I am wearing two products today, but the main one is this one, which is from the brand Girl Cult. It's called Dragon Blood, I believe. I'll put the details in the caption because I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a really nice dark red and it's got a tiny bit of shimmer on it as well. Neither of these products have dried me out, which is really important. I find that they're pretty moisturizing and I can wear them for quite a long time. The next thing that I want to talk about are the fragrances that I have been wearing in my summer rotation. I also have just really gotten back into fragrances in the past year or so because before that I went off them for a long time, but I've been building up my little collection again slowly. The one that I am wearing the most right now is the Two Roses, which is from the brand Voyage Royal. And you may recognize the bottle because a few months ago I did share the Draculelle one from them, which I found very randomly at my local chemist of all places. Really like this one, but I would say it is more of a winter autumn fragrance. These are the notes here, which are a very interesting combination. I would say it is quite intense and I would not wear this during the warmer months, but very cool concept and just a very interesting fragrance in general. When it comes to fragrances, I prefer smokier kind of scents. This one though, the Two Roses, which I've been wearing a lot, does have a little bit of smokiness that I love and it's kind of light as well. So it's been really good for these warmer months. I have also been wearing this one from Diptyque Philosikos. This one smells like figs, which is really nice. I actually bought this one a couple of years ago and I have been a little disappointed by it. Unfortunately, the smell is nice. This is the EDT, but for the price that you pay for Diptyque, I really expected this to last a lot longer than it does. I do also have the solid perfume of this, and I find even when I'm layering it with that, it really just doesn't last on me at all. Kind of outgrown it now. I don't really reach for this one as often as I used to, but I do have just a tiny bit left, so I'm kind of trying to finish it up this summer. And the last one I've got here is Son di Gioia. I think that's how you say it. My Italian's terrible. From Giorgio Armani. This was a gift from my in-laws. Every time my partner goes home to Europe, his family will send a fragrance back for me, which is really thoughtful and so cute. So I've had a few from them, but this is the one that I got last year from his trip. Actually, I find with this one that I only need one spritz to last me the whole day. It does kind of have a smokier but kind of sweet scent at the same time. It's very interesting. I really like this one for the warmer months. Now I'm going to get into what I have been reading and watching this month. So I did finish 1Q84 by Murakami, which I did show a couple of videos ago. Did start this one at the end of last year, I believe, and it did take me a while to get through it. It is pretty chunky. I have read this before, maybe 8 to 10 years ago, so it's been a really long time, and I was interested to see if I would still love it as much as I did then, and I did really enjoy reading this. I have mentioned that I do have a problem with how some of Murakami's female characters are written and also how they are perceived by the male characters. However, in this, it wasn't as prominent for me. I would say though that experience for me happened when I was reading books like Kafka on the Shore, which I didn't even finish, and The Wind-Up Bird Chronicle. Some parts in those books were a little hard for me to read, but I do think Murakami is a very talented author. His stories are very interesting. I've read a lot of books by him, And 1Q84 is a book that I would recommend reading. I have also just finished reading The Macabre by Kosuko Jackson. So this book is actually my Patreon book club read for this month. So thank you to my Patreon members for reading this one with me. So I'd never heard of this author before. I really enjoyed the writing in this. Just quickly, this book is about a series of paintings that have quite a dark history, and this group of characters are tasked with finding them. There is magic involved, so I would say this is a dark fantasy book. Personally, I'm not a fantasy reader generally, and I'm not really into magic, but I think the mix with art in this, I really enjoyed the art references, and then the more darker scenes, which had some quite shocking moments that I loved. I thought that was a really interesting combination. So if you're into those kinds of elements, you may enjoy it as well. So I ended up rating this book a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was a pretty good read. I have now just started reading the Dante Club by Matthew Pearl. So this is a book that I bought quite a while ago and it's been sitting on my shelf. The book is set in Boston in the 1800s. It centers around the Dante Society of America, which I discovered is a real thing. And basically some very grisly murders have occurred which mirror some of the scenes from hell in the Divine Comedy. If you've seen my previous videos, I did read part 1 Hell last year. It was my top read of the year. I loved it so much. I wish I had read it so much earlier. And so I'm really enjoying this so far. It's very interesting. I am familiar with this author because I have read his other book, The Poe Shadow, which is another historical fiction novel. This is focused on the mysterious death of Edgar Allan Poe. And if you know anything about that, you will know how fascinating it is. So I really enjoyed getting into that a lot more with this book. I do recommend reading this one as well if you are a Poe fan. I also really love the editions of these books and how they've got such a vintage feel with these lovely spines. And this one has it as well. I will come back and tell you what I think of it when I finished it. I also want to touch on the games that I've been playing because I have been gaming a lot. So I have been playing Elden Ring a lot, which I've talked about a few times already. I absolutely love this game. It reminds me of a mix between Skyrim and Bloodborne. So of course, being a From Software game, there are some similar elements, but I guess because Skyrim's the most similar open world game that I played to this, I kind of associate it with that. And anyway, they're two games I love, so I'm really getting into it. I've really enjoyed learning more about the lore, as I've mentioned, and chatting with a few of you about that as well. And in relation to that, I did start playing Bloodborne again. Ironically, my PS4 died and I had like a year of Bloodborne progress on there, which was heartbreaking to lose because the hardest game I've ever played for sure. If you are familiar with From Software games, they are notorious for being difficult when it comes to combat. But with Bloodborne, that's kind of part of the game. It's all part of the lesson of learning from your mistakes and getting better. And honestly, this game has made me such a better gamer when it comes to combat. I've noticed that when I've played other games and coming back to it and starting all of this again, I have actually found it a lot easier. So thank you, Bloodborne, for making me a better gamer. So I'm going to continue my journey with Bloodborne and getting back to where I was before. I have also been playing a lot of Silent Hill, especially the Silent Hill 2 remake. I just finished for the second time and I've started for the third time. Do have Silent Hill 2 and 3 on PS3. I replayed Silent Hill 2 because I went to see Return to Silent Hill, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. I just love the lore behind these games, and Silent Hill 2 in particular has become one of my top 3 games ever. I love the soundtrack, I love the story, I love how layered it is. It's just incredible and just such a wonderful game. But I did go to see the film Return to Silent Hill just the other day. And if you're not familiar, that movie is based on the game Silent Hill 2. But when the trailer came out for that, honestly, I lowered my expectations because I could already see it was not really the same kind of atmosphere. Unfortunately, it was even worse than I expected, which is really sad because I think it had the potential to be something incredible. And I actually really love the Silent Hill film from 2006, which is by the same director. So I was hopeful that we could get something a little similar to this, but honestly, it was really, really bad in my opinion. When it comes to adaptations, I am aware of the fact that things are never going to be exactly the same and changes need to be made, and it's not going to be the exact same experience. However, I think the core of the story was so different that it barely resembled the game for me at all. The characters were just so different and they didn't feel like the same ones from the game. Consequently, the whole movie just didn't make sense to me. There were some very beautiful cinematic moments, and I was very happy that Akira Yamamoto did the soundtrack. I listened to the Silent Hill soundtracks a lot. I think they're incredible and they're such an integral part of the game. So I was really happy that he was involved for this. However, that was not enough to save the movie for me. I just think it was a bit of a mess, unfortunately. But if you've seen it, let me know what you think. In terms of series, I have of course been watching Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3. Got this for Christmas though. It's a very cool edition of Zero. And I love how it's got this holographic cover. So I have been watching Zero a lot. I watch this movie all the time. It's just like very comforting for me. Season 3 of Jujutsu Kaisen is not comforting at all though. It's very intense if you're into this series with the culling games happening. Very exciting to see this finally come to life too. This past episode with Maki in all of this part of the series with the culling games, that is one of my favorite moments. And I feel like Mappa really did it justice. I loved the Kill Bill references and the particular scene that they chose that inspired this made me really happy. It was all just done really well. And I just love Maki as a character because I find that I relate to her a lot in some ways with being sort of an underdog or the black sheep of a family and then also just being underestimated. So I just love her and I love this episode and I was just really happy. So that wraps up my January favorites. This is something I would like to continue doing. So I probably will pop back in at the end of February and share what I am into then. But let me know if you're familiar with any of the things I have mentioned today or even what you are enjoying this month, because I really liked chatting with everybody in the comments. But thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.